At your Capital Markets Day earlier this year, you set some fairly ambitious targets, notably to double revenues by 2017. However, in the first half of 2013, that revenue growth has actually slowed year on year. What's going on here?
I think it's a kind of normal development we anticipated from the very beginning. We always said this year we're currently in is a kind of transition year. We have to do certain investments, we have to build the teams, and we have to build all the kind of products we need in order to achieve the kind of long-term goal, doubling the size of the company in the next 5 years. And we mentioned as well to the capital markets, it's not going to be a linear process. So every year, of course, will be a bit different, and this year in particular is a kind of transition year.
So beyond the transition then, what is the plan to accelerate growth?
Well, we see strong growth opportunities. First of all, of course, due to the markets we are in emerging markets, or some markets are not even emerging yet. So there's strong dynamics in terms of population growth, GDP growth, and consumption of the people. But secondly, there are 4 drivers for the business going forward. We still see growth opportunities on the mobile side, but obviously slower than we have seen in the last 5 to 10 years when it comes to Millicom. And the new growth areas are more towards cable, where we see good opportunities, particularly when it comes to Latin America. We see good opportunities when it comes to new services, in particular there mobile financial services or mobile banking, which is a kind of new way of doing banking in our markets. And last but not least, we do new investments in services and internet business, which all combined should drive the growth going forward.
I see you've revised your margin outlook for 2013 after a more than 10% drop in EBITDA compared to last year. What's going on here, and what's the plan to get it back on track?
Well, first of all, we said we're going to have a kind of structural decline in the margins due to the fact that we are in a lower EBITDA margin business like MFS. Plus, obviously, we have to invest into new skill set and in new people, and therefore generate new cost. We are, however, committed to a kind of a level of 35% as a target we set to the market, because we're going to get some efficiency into the business back as well, notably when it comes to the technical side, the procurement side, the CapEx side. So it is a kind of mix between new business, which are bringing margins down, but generate better cash, investments into people and infrastructure we have to do. And the combination of that, of course, brings us down to more industrialized, normal EBITDA margins. But the level of 35% stands, and there should be the kind of long-term target.
Now, there's been a lot of talk in the lead-up to these results about a proposed merger with UNE in Colombia. What are you able to tell me about that?
Well, we are making very good progress, and we are pretty close, I think, to something which we can then announce to the market. Obviously, it's a big transaction. It's a transaction which has a high-level influence and importance in Colombia itself. So it takes a bit longer than anticipated, but nothing which concerns me. And as I said, we are very optimistic to resolve it pretty soon.
And does that proposed merger that you're talking about signal a new era of external growth for Millicom after quite a sustained period of organic growth?
No, I think it's still the main focus is organic growth, and I'm always saying next to this the merger we have with UNE, all the ingredients we need in order to achieve our 9 billion targets are in-house. So we're going to look, of course, for new opportunities in terms of consolidation, maybe new markets, or when it comes to the cable and fixed side, but always a kind of very rational approach, very opportunistic approach. It is not part or necessary for the strategy we have laid out.
You talked a little bit there about new countries that you've looked at, and indeed you attempted to get an operator's license for Myanmar recently. What happened there, and do you have plans for any other countries that you can name?
Yeah, Myanmar was an interesting opportunity. I thought, and we have been discussing it in the management team. It's probably a fast-growing market, one of the last market which doesn't have a kind of mobile business really in the world. So obviously as a mobile company and a digital lifestyle company, it was natural for us to look at it. We made our offer. Obviously other ones were more aggressive. We had a kind of conservative approach, but that's fine. That's the kind of situation and the outcome we have. In terms of new countries, to be honest, right now I don't see anything on the horizon, so we focus on the countries we operate in.
You've got a new executive team in place, and that's been drawn from a wide range of backgrounds and industries. How's that team gelling, and what's the growth strategy going forward?
Well, you know, with the kind of business and ambitions we have, we need more people. We need strong people in the executive team, and therefore one of the key focuses so far has been for me to attract very strong people to the management team. with different skill set, because the business we're entering are much more complex and need different kind of skill sets from the management team. The ambitions are big, the opportunities are big, and it's all down to the execution. And if you look at the kind of growth opportunities, we are in fast-growing markets. We are in markets which have a strong GDP. We have still penetration growth when it comes to the mobile side. We have still growth when it comes to the conversion from mobile to data in our markets. We have the opportunity of the cable growth and the fixed broadband growth, which is not there compared to Western European countries. We have the opportunity of bundling those services. We have the opportunity of triple play. And we have unique features in our markets which other telcos in the world don't have, like mobile financial services, which can grow very fast, and all the other new digital services we can offer to the consumers. Because the uniqueness of our operation is in our markets, mobile is a very centric function of everything people do, and it goes far beyond what people do in the Western world. And therefore we can sit on the access to the customer through the devices. We sit on the kind of payment infrastructure through mobile financial services, and we're going to sit in the future as well on the services we are offering the customer. So all this together makes a very compelling and very strong growth story going forward.
So then, taking everything in the round that we've talked about, as we sit here at the half year, what's the outlook for Millicom? Are you confident hitting those targets that we talked about for 2017?
Yeah, the confidence is absolutely there. There is no doubt about it. I think the excitement really is, for CEO, really is there are so many opportunities. You have to rather be disciplined in what you're doing instead of trying to find the kind of growth opportunities. I think we have a very strong DNA in the company to execute those kind of things. And at the end of the day, really, if you look at the strategy in detail, it boils down to a very strong execution. It's not a kind of rocket science strategy either. So this kind of combination makes it very exciting for me as a CEO, and I think for the management team. Plus the fact, when you see how you transform with the kind of products and business we are launching, the societies we operate in, it's quite fascinating to see how fast we're going to be able to bring those kind of countries and those kind of economies forward.